boys and girls, and welcome back. We're in the month of April, and remember, we find different things on our calendar. We find four things on a calendar: the months of the year, the days of the week, the number of days we've had in the month, and the year. And the year is not posted, but we're in 2020. Everybody say it, 2020. Good thing, boys and girls. And then the season of the year we're in is spring. We're in spring where it's warm outside. Also, today's weather is a little cloudy outside, but it is hot or humid. Yesterday was Monday. Today is Tuesday. And tomorrow will be what, boys and girls? That's right. It'll be Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be learning this week. We're going to meet with the teacher and we're going to talk about our phonics, high frequency words, reading comprehension, vocabulary from our story, and social studies. Let's start with our phonics, boys and girls. Remember, onset is the first part, rhyme is the second part. When I'm talking about an onset, I'm talking about a consonant. A consonant like the ABCs, anything that starts a word, okay? And then we talk about an onset. That's what an actual alphabet is. But when we're talking about a rhyme, we're talking about a family. It's like a merging of two letters or more together to make a new word. So, our kindergarten onset or word family is going to be at. At. You said, boys and girls, at. Now, we're going to add the sound of a C. Our C sound is k, and we're going to put a k sound in front of at. I'm going to give you a chance to see if you can figure out what that word is going to be. That is correct. If we put a C, a hard C in front of at, it's going to be cat. First grade, I gave you a bigger challenge. Your word, the first rhyme is 8. Now we're going to add a CR, which is a blend to the front of that word, and we're going to make a new word. I'm going to give you a chance to figure out what you think that word is going to be. Remember, you have two vowels together. The first one is talking and the second one is silent. That E is silent at the end. The word is going to be crate. How many people got that right? I did. So a crate is a container that you hold things in. So those are going to be our phonics that we're going to be talking about. We're going to try to do rhyming words. And when I ask you, I'm going to say, make me some words with the word family at kindergartners. Or make me some words with the word family 8 first graders. Our high frequency words for this week are, for kindergarten, remember you're in red, are like, all, be. What are they again, kindergartners? Like, all, be. Let's spell like for kindergarten, L-I-K-E. Again, L-I-K-E. Your next word is all, A-L-L, all. Again, A-L-L, all. And our last word for kindergarten is going to be be, B-E, be. Again, B-E-B. Now, first grade, I gave you a little bit more challenging words because I know that you can do it. Your words are in blue, and your words this week are very, once, many. What are they again? Very, once, and many. Let's spell the words. Very, V-E-R-Y. Again, V-E-R-Y. Are you being a word detective and looking inside that word to see if you see anything in there that can help you with that word? I see an R control vowel. I also see a Y that makes a different sound. And our next word is once. Let's spell the word once. O-N-C-E. Again, O-N-C-E. And if I'm a word detective and I go into once, I see some things going on. I see a C and an E. Anytime you see a C-E or a C-I, it makes a S sound. So the word is once. This word is another word that has some things going on in it. This word is many. Let's spell the word many. M-A-N-Y. Again, M-A-N-Y. What do you see going on in that word? I see the word man in that word, and that tricky Y is trying to fool us. It is making a different sound. It's not making a Y sound. It's making an E sound. So be very, very careful when you're being a word detective, boys and girls, that you're looking for clues inside your words. Also this week, boys and girls, in our reading comprehension, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be learning. I'm going to read the different objectives that we're going to be learning. So we're going to zoom in a little bit and we're going to talk about them. For kindergarten, you're going to be rereading the text to maintain the meaning of a story. Also, you're going to be making and confirming predictions using the text and the text features. Kindergarten is going to be doing that, but first grade, you're also going to be doing that. You're going to be make and confirm predictions using the text features. Text features are the things in the book like the pictures and the captions and the wording of the way the author is saying it. And also, first grade, you're going to be doing describe the elements of the plot. This is exactly what kindergarten is doing, but it's worded different. Instead of retelling, they're asking you to find the elements of the plot. Remember, the plot is the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. And I just so happen to have a little chart right here that will help you out with knowing about it. So look at it very carefully. Story sequence, the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. When I'm asking you to do that, you can't tell me everything that you remember, can you? But you can tell me some of the most key parts of the story. So if you're at the beginning of the story, you tell me what you remember the most about the beginning. And when you're at the middle of the story, you tell me something that you know most about the middle. And when you come to the very end of the story, I want you to tell me something that you remembered about the end of the story. So, Ms. Brown also wants to talk about using strategies to read with tricky words. And these are some things that you can do to help you be a word detective. So, Ms. Brown's going to fix her book a little bit, and she's going to help you out a little bit with using strategies. And remember, Ms. Brown always talking about strategies that will help you with reading big words. We chunk it. We look for chunks. Remember this right here? We just talked about that. Kindergarten, we were talking about the rhyme. This is a word family. At. We chunk it. And remember, we read and write from left to right and from top to bottom. So we're going over to this side. Look for vowel patterns. Do we see consonant, vowel, consonant patterns? Do we see vowel, consonant? Do we see consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant patterns? Remember, you're always trying to be a word detective to figure it out. We look at the pictures. That can help us with it. But we can't always rely on the pictures, boys and girls. We can't always rely on the pictures, so we got to look at different things. Also, get your mouth ready. Can you pronounce that word? If you can't pronounce it, try it. Look for clues inside the word. Reread the sentences. If you're having difficulty, reread them. Also, I know my rhymes. If you know that this word family is at, and you have an H in front of it, now it makes the word what? That is correct, hat. If you notice it's the word from family at, and you have a B in front of it, what is our new word? Bat. Very good. You're doing an awesome job. Bunny hop. When you're doing the bunny hop, you look at the first sound and you get ready to guess what the next sound might be. Okay? And the last one, does it look right? If a word is not looking right, 9 times out of 10 it's not spelled correctly either. So Ms. Brown's going to turn this page right here. And we were just talking about word families. And we're going to focus on these two. This is for kindergarten, the at family. And this is first grade, the 8 family. So you got a jump start. If you're being very smart, you got your pencil and paper out and you're writing down you some fast words real quick. I'm going to count to 2 and see if you already written them. 1, 2. Okay, those are our word families. We're trying to get you to learn those. So Ms. Brown is going to put this away. And she's going to go right into our vocabulary words. Our book for this week happens to be Listen, Buddy by Helen Lister and illustrations by Lynn Monsinger. What Ms. Brown wants you to do is, I'm not going to read the story to you. I want you to go online and look for this particular person named Derek Kane. And Derek Kane is going to read it to my boys and girls. And I'm going to come back on Thursday and ask you some questions about this story. This is a hilarious, funny story. And I bet you that you can kind of relate to Bunny as he's going through his adventure with his ears and what he's doing. These are some words that I want you to look for as the author reads to you. Sniffer, chopper, salute, prickly. Sniffer, chopper, salute, prickly. Now, if you look at some of those words, they sound funny, but I guarantee you once you read the story, you'll understand what they mean a little bit better. And in social studies this week, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about how would your life be without technology. That's my kindergartners. How would your life be without a cell phone? How would your life be without a computer? How would your life be without your tablet? And I know you love your tablets. In my first grade, you're going to describe the components of various jobs. That means the characteristics, what makes a job, what makes a bus driver, what makes a teacher, what makes a principal, what makes a fireman, these different things. And how do you know if they're doing a good job? How do you know if a job is well done? And that comes to my next point, boys and girls. When we're posting work for the teacher, would you give Ms. Brown this book upside down? I'm going to let you think about it for a moment. Would you give this book to Ms. Brown upside down? I want you to really look at it. Would you give it to me upside down? No, you would not. Why not? I'm going to give you a moment to think. That is correct, because I cannot read it. So boys and girls, when you're posting, please do not put your things upside down, because Ms. Brown is doing this, trying to read and make sure that she gives you the best grade possible. So please make sure all your postings are right side up like this, and I can read it a little bit better. Okay? Also, boys and girls, are you doing your best handwriting when you're turning your work into me? Ms. Brown, what do you mean by that? That means, everybody come a little closer. I want you to zoom in a little bit. Can you read this line? If you can, give me a thumbs up. If you cannot, give me a thumbs down. Well, I can read this line very, very well because it is going from left to right and it's very legible. Legible means it is neat. Boys and girls, I want you to do your best penmanship when you're turning your papers into me so I can read it. Guess what? I'm not the only one reading this. The principal's reading it, and other people in the district and people online are reading it, and I want to show my best work of my scholars, okay? So do that for me. Also, boys and girls, make sure that you tell me what you're posting. A lot of people are not telling me what they're posting. I have to kind of guess. So tell me what you're posting. So let's just review some of the things that we've learned for our lesson today. We talked about the calendar, and we talked about the days of the week and the months of the year and all those different things like that. We talked about the seasons. Okay? And we talked about what day we're at. Yesterday was Monday and today is Tuesday. And we know that tomorrow will be Wednesday. We also met with the teacher. When meeting with the teacher, we talked about what we're going to be learning in ELA, which is a language arts. We talked about our phonics, onset and rhyme. We talked about high frequency words. Remember, red is for kindergarten and blue is for who? You are so right, for first grade. We talked about reading comprehension. Remember, kindergarten, you're retelling a story to maintain the meaning. And first grade, you're describing the elements of the plot. And the plot is the beginning, what happened at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. Ms. Brown introduced you to some vocabulary words that you're going to be finding in the story that Derek Kane is going to read to you on YouTube. Sniffer, chopper, salute, and prickly. And we also talked about social studies. Describe how your life would change without technology, kindergartners. In first grade, you're going to describe the components of various jobs and the characteristics of doing a good job. So boys and girls, I'm going to stop right there with our language arts, and you'll see me in a little bit with math for first grade and with math for kindergarten.